Now, the next piece we're going to see is a compilation of shows in the past. You worked on every single one, I think.
I think I did, yes.
Wow, that's quite a track record. Did you ever think that you'd be a TV star like a year ago?
Never, never, never.
Do people stop you everywhere you go now?
Oh yeah, I get quite a bit of feedback, which is nice. I always worry that no one's watching, and then I go over to town and everybody's saying, God, I saw you and I watch every week and it's great.
Yeah,
so that's really nice.
There's been an excellent response to the Westerly. We're just going to look at some highlights from that, and we'll see one reason why people keep tuning in. Well, I can understand that, but so are they saying they can't resolve that through the negotiation process, so they have to fight you in court? I don't understand.
Yeah, well, we'd like to resolve it through negotiations, but you know what's happened, as I mentioned, is that when the governments come to the table with these narrow, self-serving, formula-driven mandates to which the negotiators, you might as well send Bugs Bunny to the negotiating table with what they put to as offers, that they're really not significant in terms of what we think they ought to be offering.
Like, oh yeah, make it legal or make it a controlled substance and everything will be wonderful. Someone would have done it by now.
Well, it does happen in Holland, but you know, there's a worldwide international pogrom against cannabis users. I mean, we are an oppressed cultural group that is crushed and attacked all around the world.
Well, why? I mean, that sounds insane. I mean, we're oppressed. Why would anyone oppress you?
It's cultural inertia. It's racism. The cannabis laws came into North America because of racism against black jazz musicians, against Chinese opium smokers. That's where our marijuana laws come from, and that's why they're still here.
Okay, here's my question for you now, since you said that you're okay with it. Scenario is one guy, two women. And they're all in love. And they've been living together and they've been sharing a household, they've been raising kids together. Where do you draw the line? They want to get married.
I would draw the line at monogamy.
Right. So polygamy,
one-on-one. Polygamy, no.
Can you see that? I wonder sometimes, like in 50 years, because of course there are some societies where that happens. Well, you know, one man, two wives. Of course, most men I talk to say one wife is enough. So they can ship our logs over the border and process them there.
Yes.
And that's something a lot of people don't really know is going on.
Nothing's getting made out of it.
Well,
Jobs
why aren't
aren't
you guys
producing.
screaming about that? Why isn't that a bargaining issue? Why isn't that something where you're saying those logs belong to BCers? We should be processing them here. And you, small businessman, why aren't you yelling about that? Especially being a Salisbury, come on. You're on welfare and you don't know if you're going to qualify anymore. Then you must hear about that.
It's very hard for people. And I think the lead up to this April thing, God only knows what Mr. Campbell is thinking, if he actually has a brain, which is still up there for question. He has to change something. You can't throw all of these people on the street with nothing to back them up. He's maybe thinking along the lines of other provinces where they actually had jobs for people to go to, so when they took them off welfare, there were jobs. That is not the case here.
So, what's the role of the credit union?
Well, the role of the credit union is, we believe, a little different. We like to look at each situation as the individual, the members that come to see us, and even the non-members who want to become members of the credit union.
Okay.
And we look at the whole picture.
So you don't have to have an account at the credit union to come talk to you guys?
No, no, absolutely not.
That's important, because a lot of people think like credit union is like a secret society or something. Okay, that's a little extreme, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in a way, it ties back to what you might say is paranoia, but what a lot of people might say is a concern about the Americanization of BC.
I'm not paranoid, but I think everybody is out to get us, including the people down south to us here. And I see the ominous side of it, where you see our forest companies go down because of those softwood tariffs.
That's a slightly different issue from my perspective. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what I'm talking about.
But this is
I have to represent our own interests.
So that's like a potpourri of some of the past shows, and there have been some excellent shows that Karma hosted since then. I know many of you have seen them. Now we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the fall.